Welcome to my craft table. Hi guys, this is Jamie Magrich coming to you from Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It has the little bit of dimension to it there. Open it up so you can see. It's quite simple. Well, let's get started. The products you're going to need a scrap of granny apple green to die cut 3 little branches out of. I already cut them out just to save a little bit of time. You're going to need a piece of Whisper White. This is the regular Whisper White, which is 5 1/4 by 4. Piece of the thick, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I've scored it and folded it at 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to place that aside for a minute. We're going to start with this piece here. Well, let's go through the rest of what we're going to need first. I guess I'm a little out of practice. We're going to need the Nature's Beauty stamp set. We're going to be using the deer and these 2 trees. We're going to be using Tiding All Around bundle. We're going to be using the wreath and the Tidings of Comfort and Joy. These 2 little things that I've already cut out, and then this wreath here. Okay, let me get that out so I have that out. Okay, we're going to be using the subtle embossing folder, and I'm using the stampin'Up simply because the wreath will fit on, where is it? This block, but I find it kind of big and hard for me to use. I'd rather use the stampin'Up. It's just a little bit large for this one, so which I can manage. So I'm just going to use the stampin'Up. Okay, and we're going to use Mossy Meadow ink and soft suede ink. A pair of snips. I have a couple of bows, one tied with a jute ribbon and one tied with the copper trim. A couple of glue dots, some dimensionals, and some snail. Okay, so let's bring in that 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece, Whisper White. We're going to set it in our stampin'Up. I'm going to bring in the wreath. I just want to show you how I did this. It's really, there's no trick to it. I just set it in here. You want it to be a little bit more towards the top. You want a little bit of space down towards the bottom. So try and center it side to side. Okay, and then pick it up with our platform. It's actually dirty. Okay. Make sure your paper's in the corner. Since it's a photopolymer stamp, I have the foam mat in there. Magnet that. And I'm going to stamp that with the Mossy Meadow ink. Come on, open. Okay. Stamp it down. Should get a good coverage. Don't want to push too hard because you don't want to squash the images. Yeah, it's pretty good. See, it squashed just a little bit on that side, but that's alright. It's still nice. Okay, now we're going to take this out of here. We're done with the stampin'Up, so we're going to go ahead and put it away, or get it out of our way. And we're going to bring in a die cutting machine of your choice. I'm using my Sizzix Big Shot because that's the one I have. And I'm going to bring in the die that matches this. I'm going to line it up, cut that out. moved a little bit. Well, I'm going to put you on pause and I'll be right back once I cut it out. Okay, I'm back. I've cut out that circle. I will not need this piece. I just need the frame and this piece here. And kind of gonna remember how it goes in here. There's these two. Which way did it go? Which way does it go? This way. Okay. So I'm going to put on the back side a little mark so that I know which is the top. Just so I don't have to do that swirly thing again. Okay, now I'm going to bring this piece over to my card base. And I'm going to center it on there, and I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark where this wreath is going to go. And it doesn't matter where, it's not going to show because this is going to go on top of it. But I just need to know where I need to stamp. And I also need to know, keep in mind that this wreath is going to cover up a lot of that. So I want to make sure not to hide too much. So I've got to keep in mind that at least 1/4 of an inch is not going to show. So I'd rather not see the deer's feet than have the head disappear. And let me show you on one that I started and then I tore apart because it didn't work so well. Where did I do with it? Well, oh, here it is. See, I stamped too high. I needed all this stamping to be lower. So you've got to keep that in mind when we're stamping. Okay, but first let's run this piece through the Subtles embossing folder, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so there's that piece. Make sure it's right side up. Yep, okay. Put that aside. This aside. Now we're going to do our stamping. We're going to open this card up. We're going to bring in our deer and our trees. And we're going to use the soft suede ink. I've got a mess here already. Okay, so I want to make sure it's down a little bit farther in that circle, but down a little bit farther. Go ahead and stamp him. Okay, then I'm going to take the double trees. I'm going to stamp it on this side. Okay, then I'm going to take the single tree, stamp it on this other side. Okay. Then I'm done with the soft suede ink. I'm going to bring in back in the Mossy Meadow ink. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the inside. So I'll put it completely over. Make sure it's right side up. It says tidings of comfort and joy. I'm going to stamp that right in the center here. Awesome. Alright. I'm going to leave that open so I don't, well, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this piece back in. This piece is going to get glued flat. Just want to make sure that this is right side up. It is, okay, right side up. So this piece is going to get glued on there. Use the wet glue or your snail or whatever glue of choice you choose. I like the liquid glue. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room. frame around our deer. Excuse me. Sorry about that. For some reason my phone is ringing off the hook today. Okay, now we're going to bring in our wreath. We're going to put dimensionals on the back. You can use either the regular or the smaller ones. It doesn't really matter. You want to make sure you have enough so that it's not going to collapse. Okay, and then we marked our top, so we know that goes up here at this top. We're going to fit it into the space that we cut it out of, and that's the hardest part, I think, of this whole card. If it's a little bit off at the bottom, it's okay, because we're going to hide that with some bows. I already put glue dots on the back of them. I'm going to glue dot that right here. And those 3 little sprigs that we cut out, I'm going to take a little tiny dab of the Tombow Mono, or glue of choice, don't want much. I'm going to put one facing this direction. One facing this other direction. And one right in the middle. There we go, and there's our card for today. Here's the one that we made previous. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day.